This parish was canonically erected on the 25th of December 1962. And the first priest that worked in this parish is Monsignor Joseph Keke. This parish is located in Funtua local government area of Katsina State. And this parish has about 5 outstations. We have St. Gabriel Madara, we have St. Mary's Jambaba, we have St. Adolphus Student Ear, St. Charles Luanga Dandume. These are the outstations of the parish.
Facing financial challenge. Yes, because you see, I don't want to be maybe to generalize the issue, but you see people are struggling. People are struggling for even what to eat, and so it affects even the level of contribution, the way people participate in the well-being, the temporal well-being of the church. People are actually struggling, and then sometimes even you as a priest, you want to ask something from them, and you are pitying them, because sometimes whenever there is anything like contribution, myself and the parish priest will be arguing who will be here in the parish, because nobody wants to ask money from the people, because people are suffering. People are suffering. So we are actually facing financial challenges.
The church is actually trying her best, because even the church, you understand, is from we mother the church is supposed to get the finance. But when the community is starving, because there is serious famine in the nation, everybody is really crying. So for the members that are supposed to assist the church, for them to even raise the money that they will use to eat is a serious problem. Talk more of giving the one that are supposed to give out to the church. So every part of the country now is almost crippled financially.
Of course, every organization should have a vision. Okay, every organization should have a vision. And what is our vision? Now, I will itemize it in 3 ways. Now, structurally, there is a vision. Spiritually, there is a vision. Socially, there is a vision. Now, structurally, what do we intend to achieve in this church? We have so many projects that we intend to achieve. Now, we have a school that we are running in this church. We have an intention, and it is our desired goal that we see how we elevate this school from a very low standard to a high standard, in a way that it can accommodate our members, and also it can accommodate people of this environment. We have projects on ground like building or creating an environment for prayer, such as building a chapel of adoration where our people can come and pray. In worship, we have 2 kinds of worship. We have a communal worship, we have individualistic worship. So we try to create an environment where people can worship. Okay, these are visions. Now, socially, we are creating spaces. Okay, spaces where we can empower our members, because whether we like it or not, our finances are decreasing.
One of our programs is to make sure we spread the good news out there, and we try to make sure we care for those in the outstation, like the rural areas. And whenever we have a project like that, we try to meet stakeholders in the church for financial support. Like last month, we just had our youth week, where we met some of the stakeholders to support us financially, so that we can impact in the life of parishioners with a medical outreach. Yes, which we did, and we try to check the medical life of our parishioners, and if we can advise them on how to go about with their medical issues, their health issues, we advise, and if it is beyond our advice, we advise them to consult a physician.
The few ways we contribute to the growth, financially to the growth of this church, Mostly is the other ways like the harvest, Thanksgiving. We have sometimes launching. Whenever we have something before us, we will call for launching, and all of us we give the best we could. We give for the growth of the church, and those are the major ways in which we generate funds for the growth of the church. Now, to suggest on how to manage or how to cater for what is being generated, definitely our priests are trying. After we have donated whatever we have for a particular project or for a particular purpose, he will call we that are the parish pastoral council. We'll sit down. This is what we have. This is what we want to do. We'll rub mind together. By the time we rub mind together, we'll find our way out, and that is helping. So then the other way they have been doing it, but I would advise that the priest should continue to do it to motivate the parishioner. When everything is transparent, we have 10 naira, this is what we got after a launching, this is what we have done. Proper report. Once you give report to the lay people, they will definitely be encouraged to do more.
What we do, the priests in collaborations with the councils organize revival programs, and those programs really lift the faith and the minds of the people to believe that God is above all the challenges, and that gives them hope to continue worshiping God. I'm sure if all these programs are not being organized, so many people will be leaving this place, because the things that are happening around are very, very terrible, and they're heartbreaking. But with the programs being organized by the priest and the church here, it has revived the soul of the people and give the people the confidence to continue to worship God despite all these challenges. The spiritual life of this parish, I will say thank God for the kind of priest we have, especially in this our time now. We have zealous priests that have interest for the work of God, and they have been organizing a series of programs, and these programs have been uplifting the hearts of the people, giving people hope that God still exists despite the economic challenges, insecurity challenges, and with all these programs and the revival, the life of the people being revived.
Okay, for the youths, that is the youths in general, right? Whenever we have projects, the leaders of the church, like the laity council, they levied all society to make sure they participate. If we have a project at hand, they levied every society, and the youth is not left out. So we are levied, and we make sure that we contribute to the little quota we can.
Insecurity is a problem that we cannot actually shy away from. Drastically, insecurity has not just affected this parish, it has affected the nation as a whole. And once the nation is affected, it means every other sphere or organization of this nation is affected. And the religious organization is one of it. And this parish is a religious organization. Now, it has affected us in different ways. Number one, population-wise. The population of this parish is drastically decreasing, day in, day out. In some of our outstations, our members have relocated. Even in the main center, the main parish here, members are relocating every day. Why? Because of the fear of insecurity. What is that fear? People are being kidnapped every day, every hour, in fact, even minutes. So the fear is, what if it's my turn tomorrow? What would I do? Where would my help come from? So all these uncertainties are the reason why people are relocating from this parish. And so it makes the population of this parish to decrease or decline drastically. And when the population of a parish is declining or decreasing, of course, you know that there will be problem of financial strain. There will be problem of financial strain. There will be problem of spiritual balance, okay, because the faith of the people will begin to shake, okay. They'll begin to question their faith, question their religion, and finances of the church will definitely decrease. Because if you are used to getting certain amounts, when population decreases, it will reduce. So this insecurity has really affected the parish drastically, because the parish cannot grow as it is supposed to grow because of the problem of insecurity.
This church has been burned down up to 3 times, and each time we have to go back and continue. How does it affect the growth of the church? Many people, like I was telling you, we are having up to 3 masses. Now we have 2. Even the 2 is not as full packed like the other time. People have run away from this town, go to other places where they will have security. So because of that, the number have reduced, and you know the church, when the number is large, everything will be moving well. But now that the number is down, it has affected many aspects of the development of the church, financially, otherwise.
Insecurity is a very serious problem facing the whole country now, because on daily basis or on monthly basis, our parishioners are even leaving, relocating, because of fear of the unknown. Then financially, especially in CWO, we have that notion, because there, I'm from the eastern part of the country, and there, no matter what you pay or how you meet up with the financial problems of where you stay, once you have any problem in the east, you must do what they call clearance before the church will attend to you. So it affects CWO and the church at large. So many of our people from the east, as I said earlier, they said they can't be doing everything here. Then when they have one problem that the church is supposed to solve for them in the east, they must go and start afresh to pay or do the clearance before they will be attended to.
The insecurity is a serious threat to the people, but not only to the people, but even to the church. Let me say, in Katsina Diocese in general, and also here in Funtua Parish, it is a challenge to us because people no longer work freely, and even we, the ministers, we cannot freely go and minister to the people. For instance, one of our outstations here, we cannot go there again. Or maybe if we must go, we have to make an inquiry first before going because of the rising insecurity over there. And so you see that the people are not well attended to. So it is a challenge to us. And then also, there are some activities that sometimes you cannot hold in the parish, or maybe we cannot stay late in the church because of the rising insecurity, because everybody is afraid of what will happen along the way, maybe when they are going back home. So it has affected the church, honestly, especially this our parish. Some of our parishioners are being kidnapped, and you see it is a setback for us as a people and also as a church.
We are going to cling to the situation of time. Okay, you know, one of the hindrances that we have in applications, that is people neglecting the idea of going into the seminary to become priests. One of the situations on ground is this security that we have been speaking about. Okay, now, you know, there were periods where it seems as if the target of bandits are priests. There were periods that all the time you see in the news, one priest or the other is being kidnapped. So all these things are discouragement. A young man who has already planned his future would not want his future, would not imagine that this is how he wants his future to be, he will opt out, he will decline. Again, we have moral decadence. Now you look into our society now, the morals that were inculcated to us by our parents is not what we practice now. Things are changing. And how are these things happening? Now you see modernization. Young men or youth will look at it. This church is a dogmatic church. Okay, now how does their modern experience of life fit into this church? If it doesn't fit well, they decline. All these are challenges. And not every young man will want to make these kind of sacrifices. The sacrifices are tasking. So the young men of this age, not all of them would want to make such sacrifices. So if you take your census back, you realize that the rate at which people apply for the seminary 10 years back is different from what we have now. Even for what you have now. 10 years back, you could see hundreds of people applying, but now you will see it has reduced to 20 or even 30 at most. First of all, what you do in these kind of situations is you create an inclusive environment. Okay, what do I mean by inclusive environment? You create a welcoming environment. An environment that gives people room to participate. Okay, an environment that makes people comfortable. Already, the nation is hard. Times are hard, things are difficult, finances are dropping drastically. So you create an environment that consoles the people. The church is a church of hope. So you create an environment that gives the people hope to believe that one day these situations will pass. One day these situations will go. So you do this by engaging them. You bring them into the church. Offer them varied opportunities that will empower them, that will increase them. Visit them in their homes, visit them in their businesses, visit them in their space, okay, and see how they are faring. People that are struggling financially, materially, you see a way that you can support them in the little way that you can. No matter how little it is, you realize that you are encouraging them, because all they need at this point is encouragement that will give them hope.
Now, like the local community here, we have been attending this interreligion meeting, especially with our Muslim brothers here, how to become united and shy away from what has been happening, the differences that has been there before, and it is really growing. We have most of them, like the Shia group. They come here when we have Christmas. We go to them when they have Easter. So this is what we are doing to come together and to unite with the local environment, people here.
You know, one thing that we find very catchy and very beautiful that gives us a reason to want to continue with our mission work, our religious work, even amidst these challenges, is the organizing of interfaith activities. Interfaith activities in the sense that we tend to have a cordial relationship with the people from the other religion. We've had instances where stakeholders, religious stakeholders, will be invited for a meeting or a consensus or even a dialogue. We've had instances in this church where people from the other religion had to come and pay us a visit during festivities like Christmas and even Easter. And we've also reciprocated. We've done the same thing by paying them visits during their festivities. And whenever we have these moments, there are moments for dialogues. Okay, religious dialogue, because it is a kind of a symposium where we will sit and talk as religious stakeholders to see how we can control, or if you like, manage this problem of insecurity in our region. And sometimes when there are security threats or tensions, you see informations coming from the churches, even from the Islamic dimensions, how security personnel will come together to see how they will work to protect lives and properties of the people in this region. If you go through the historical record of this parish, you will see that this parish have been burnt down about 2 times. The most recent of it was in 2011. Okay, so this parish undergoes persecution. Not just this parish. Let me not just center it on this parish. Christians in general in this environment undergo persecutions. Is it in administrative dimensions? Christians are not even offered jobs because of their faith, because of their religion. These are persecutions. Now, when there is a crisis, a little crisis in this area, their target is the church. Sometimes they burn down this church. And sometimes when you have these kind of activities in view or in check, you cannot bring in some certain developments because you are scared. When we build this church to a height, what happens if these people burn it down? So all these things bring fear of, or create some kind of fear in our minds and in our hearts. And all these are results of persecutions that we face through in this area. Currently, the diocese as a whole, I think this question, the diocese as a whole, we are lacking priests, okay? We are having shortage of priests, but that doesn't mean that the religious work will not go on. It will go on in the best capacity that we can. For instance, in this parish, we have 2 priests and we have about 5 outstations. Now, how do we cover these outstations? On a particular Sunday, 1 priest will be in the parish, another priest will go to an outstation. So you end up, you find out or you realize that each outstation at least gets mass twice in a month. Twice in a month. Which, if it was within our power, if it's something that we could do, every outstation is supposed to be getting masses every Sunday. But you see them having masses just twice in a month. And all this as a result of low manpower.
Yes, there is persecution, especially towards us Christians. There is persecution because, of course, it is a general problem that sometimes you do not have freedom to express yourself as a Christian. And also, sometimes when you go out, you are being careful of what you say and what you do outside there, because at the slightest provocation, people will rise up. So there is persecution. And sometimes even when you try to express your faith outside, you are being mocked by people, especially those who do not belong to, who they are not of the same faith with you. So there is persecution. And also here we face persecution, especially now with reference to maybe those who are indigenous of this Funtua. There are rights and privileges that are being denied. The people are being denied their rights and privileges because maybe they feel they are Christians and so they do not deserve such privileges, while other people of other faiths enjoy those privileges and then rights. So we are being persecuted actually.
When there is a victim of this circumstance, the best way that the church can come in is to offer support. Emotional support, financial support. Take for instance, we've had a case where a member or 3 members of this parish were kidnapped at different instances. Now, some of these people sell their belongings to pay these ransoms. So how does the church come in? The church should try to come in, support them financially to see how they can stand again. Some close their shops, some end their businesses. So the church needs to come in to see how they can support in their own little way to help this individual stand. Now, if it is a case that affects the parish, of course, the larger church needs to come in, support the parish with prayers, most importantly. Support the parish financially. Support the parish emotionally to see how the parish will stand again.
We have started, like this issue of a welfare scheme. We have some of the outstations that are far from us. So anything that will encourage them, we discuss about that welfare scheme, whereby we work together, listen to them when they have problem. Then we'll now come together and assist them based on what the welfare has been meant for, is to cater for our brothers and our sisters in the outstation. Secondly, we have a meeting whereby we call all the local people around to come. Let's deliberate on issue that will help to move the church ahead, and whereby we rub mind together. They bring what are their own challenges, and we will rub mind together to see how those things will overcome.
We have visions, and these visions also, they need financial resources in order to be actualized and materialized. So, but we have visions ranging from how we can build the people spiritually and human development also. We have the plans, but we pray that the financial resources will be available one day.
In this our church, we have something called welfare scheme of the laity. Okay, all these things are put in place to see how we can empower our members. Now, how does this work? We take the census of each members. We know their homes. We know the kind of businesses that they do. All those who have low-scale businesses, we see how we can support them to boost them. Because when we boost them, it is a win-win. It is a win for them. It is a win for the church. So all these are visions that we have to see how our church can grow.
The suggestion I have to give is that all of us, all hands should be on deck to pray to God to stabilize the security condition of this country and the economic condition. When everything economically is stabilized, people will be able to earn their daily bread, support the church, support their family and the church at large.
I would say the church has been responding, because even recently we had a case of a kidnap of one of our parishioners, and we are trying to create information and tell our people that now that the rainy season is on and most of the plants in the farms have grown up, that people should be careful of how they move, where they go, and those that have farms far away should not even go, except they may pay people to go and do the work for them instead of them going. So we try to create information and tell our people on how to be careful and to be security conscious.